For more on where the weight loss market stands today, let's bring in the aforementioned Jared Holz. He's a healthcare equity strategist with Mizuho. Jared, so what does the Novo trial results mean for the weight loss market as a whole? Very rosy picture painted by the two execs that Meg Terrell spoke to today.
Tyler, yeah, it's been probably the one market that investors continue to talk about as being one that they really have a lot of confidence in for obvious reasons. It's the patient population's massive. The drugs are working really, really well. All of the trial results so far from Novo and Lilly and some others that are in the fray as well have also inspired a lot of confidence that this group continues to do well as we move towards the second half of the decade here.
Hey, Jared, it's Tim. So you talk about the addressable market size for this and the competitive landscape. I mean, is Lilly, to me, kind of the front runner, if not necessarily because of the development of the drug, but, and I think from an investment perspective, just because of the broader base of their entire pipeline and the EPS growth that they're getting. I guess because I feel they are less reliant on this outcome that seems to be very hot and heavy right now.
I think so, Tim. I mean, Lilly has a very prominent growth rate in terms of revenue, especially compared to the other U.S. pharma stocks. I think that's one reason why it's held its multiple as well as it's had. I mean, it's not even in the same ballpark as Pfizer, Amgen, Gilead, et cetera. And part of the reason is it does have a broad-based revenue stream aside from just the obesity drugs that we're talking about. And in the meantime, these obesity drugs are getting bigger and bigger as a percentage of revenue. So they probably are in a position where they can likely win either way. So I'd agree with that perspective, just given the total totality of their business run.
Jared, it's interesting. Obesity is one thing, but, well, I mean, there are different levels to this as well. What if the insurance companies magically say, this game's over, we're not doing it anymore? Does that sort of punch a hole in this whole thesis?
I mean, it's not going to help at all, right? Like, that's the one negative commentary surrounding the space, which is once these revenue numbers get much higher, much more meaningful, it's obvious that it's going to be a target for insurance companies to say, wait a minute, we need to be much more selective about who gets these drugs. But on the other hand, what we're seeing so far is there's some off-label use, but there's a lot of private pay. There are a lot of people who have money that feel like for, a month or a year or multiple years, depending on how much of this drug that they need, they're willing to pay the price out of pocket. And I think Novo is on the record saying that they feel like globally, there are more than 500 million patients that are, eligible or are classified as obese. So even if you take a tiny percentage of that entire pie and those people pay out of pocket, it's a massive market. That's why we've seen numbers thrown out at the end of the decade in excess of 30 billion. I've seen some analysts over 50 billion. It's possible, but yes, if insurance companies cut back, clearly that's going to be something the street talks about for the next couple of years.
What do these drugs, Jared, cost per month?
Well, I mean, for insurance purposes, you're seeing some of the commercial payers pay about $50 a month. I mean, there's other statistics out there that average more than $1,000 a month. It really depends on what your plan is and if you're paying through insurance or if you're paying privately. But even if you're paying privately out of pocket, it's about $1,000, maybe a little bit over $1,000 a month. And I've seen prices continue to come down, but it is a little bit of a moving target.
Well, that's what I wondered, because I had heard $1,000 a month if you pay privately for them. Jared, great to have you. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, let's trade this opportunity. Courtney, what do you think?
Yeah, I think long term, the addressable market here is huge. I've heard anywhere from $30 to $60 billion. And just to put that in perspective, Humira right now is your largest sale drug, and that's at $20 billion a year. So this is so much bigger than the largest drug that's out there. But I think it's going to take a while to get there, especially as we need insurances to cover it. I think for that reason, I would look at some of your other pharmaceuticals, like you pointed out, Lilly, which has a much better diversified revenue source. So I wouldn't just specifically go into Novo for that reason.
Dan?
It's funny. So Jared just said about Lilly holding that multiple this year, 2023, consensus estimates for earnings and sales are only expected to be up 7%, but that jumps to about 20% plus in the out year. And when he talks about holding that multiple, right now it's trading about 38 times this year, about 28 times next. And so if that number for some of these drugs, you know what I mean, like ends up being towards the higher end, there's better insurance sort of terms, that sort of thing. I mean, Lilly looks like, and if you just look at it on a 5-year basis, it is lower left, upper right. It's held that uptrend.
And it deserves it.
Like a boss. Wouldn't you say, Tim?
I always say like a boss.
Yeah.
In fact, it's one of my favorite expressions.
Yeah.
And I would say in Lilly's case, they're giving you 20% EPS growth, though, and that's what they're projected to do. That's why they're getting a multiple that's twice what Pfizer is. And I kind of think they deserve it, even though I'm long Pfizer.